1861 by SCP Exposed, guys.
D-1861-45 was wary at first.
Okay.
Who was this strange figure? Then he recognized it
when you
as
can't
one of
see
the
somebody in the
instances
fog
of
like that.
SCP-1861-B.
Especially in the rain.
The instance was wearing the full bodysuit that all instances of
Scooby-Doo
SCP-1861-B
monster,
wore,
bruh.
as
got
well
a
as a
diving
helmet
suit
like
on,
one
like
of
an
those
old
deep-sea
school?
diving gears.
Yeah.
Who are you?
D-1861-45 asked. The figure paused for a second, and then came a familiar voice.
Mike, it's me, Sal.
What?
Sal?
D-1861-45 was confused.
It's somebody that he
Sal,
knew?
aka D-1861-46, had been missing for over 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Is that really you? Yeah, it's me, Mike. This doesn't make any sense. Don't worry, you'll find out soon enough.
So he's trying to recruit him?
D-1861-45 didn't know what the SCP-1861-B instance was talking about.
Was he trying to take him in?
It replied, "Welcome back to
What?
SCP Exposed. Today we bring
Holy
you
cow.
Peter class object SCP-1861. There are no containment procedures for SCP-1861 due
Okay.
to its teleportation abilities and sheer collective size.
It's a lot of
SCP-1861 is a
instances,
meteorological phenomenon characterized by heavy precipitation and fog,
rain.
composed of saltwater, human blood, and human cerebrospinal fluid.
Blood?
SCP-1861 manifestations are unpredictable, appearing spontaneously and at random locations.
Right.
Manifestations typically occur once every 3 to 6 months and
Okay.
have been recorded occurring in numerous regions across the world.
Huh.
Historical records have confirmed that SCP-1861 has existed since as early as the year 1916.
Okay. So it's
The
been
size of
happening
the
a
area
while.
covered by SCP-1861 varies from instance to instance, with the largest recorded affected area measuring approximately 5 kilometers
I was
square.
noticing that the rain
If one
was
were
a
to
little
compare
red
an
in the first
instance
part
of
the animation.
SCP-1861 to the average weather phenomenon, one could say it is much like a hurricane or fog,
Okay.
except consisting of saltwater and
Very
human blood.
large.
SCP-1861-A is a single
Tears of
underwater
blood.
marine vessel that
Blood,
closely
sweat, and
resembles
tears?
B-class boats used
Okay.
by the British Royal Navy in World War I. During each SCP-1861 manifestation, SCP-1861-A will attempt to surface in a body of water that is large enough to contain its full mass.
Okay.
Both natural and man-made bodies of water have hosted manifestations of SCP-1861-A, including a swimming pool, a
So
waterfall,
when
and
this
a large
happens,
puddle. If no body of
appears,
water
the
large
stuff
enough to
appears.
contain the entirety of SCP-1861-A is present, SCP-1861-A will surface in any collection of water with a surface area large enough to encompass its conning tower and
Okay.
topmost platform,
Out of a
even if the
kid's
collection
swimming
of
pool?
water in
Can you
question
imagine?
is only several inches deep.
The heck,
Eyewitnesses have also claimed to have seen SCP-1861-A emerge from a waterfall at a horizontal angle. It is uncertain how
Wild.
SCP-1861 and SCP-1861-A connect, although it is indisputable that they only appear at the same time.
Right.
Another byproduct of SCP-1861 are
Yeah.
the creatures or figures that emerge from the vessel that is SCP-1861-A.
So they're the crew.
These figures have been classified as SCP-1861-B
Okay.
and are described as humanoid figures dressed in full bodysuits resembling deep-sea diving gear,
Right,
although with
interesting.
no discernible source of air supply. Instances of SCP-1861-B possess the speed and strength typical of an adult human.
All right.
Whenever humans have come into contact with these instances, they have been communicative and sound and act much like a human being.
All right.
However,
Are they
there have
the
been a
humans?
few cases where an unusual instance of SCP-1861-B has been encountered, whereby they seem to possess low intelligence and are merely sentient.
Huh.
Instances that are incapable of verbal communication have been recorded making vocalizations similar to the cries of domestic felines, canines, and infant humans.
Huh.
The diving
Interesting.
gear worn by SCP-1861-B instances is anomalously durable and cannot be
Wow.
removed except by the instance presently wearing it.
Okay.
If an instance of SCP-1861-B encounters a human subject, it will attempt to persuade the subject into entering
Yeah.
SCP-1861-A,
To join the crew, right?
claiming that this action would be in the subject's best interest.
It's a big collective.
Subjects
they
who
said.
refuse may or may not be forcefully taken to SCP-1861-A, depending on
May
the
or may
temperament
not.
of the SCP-1861-B instance.
Weird.
It is strongly advised by General 05LD that subjects do not enter SCP-1861-A.
Because you're
This is
become
due
one
to
of
the
them.
occurrence of the event 1861-07,
Okay,
in
what
which
is
a
that?
missing member of a D-class unit, which was sent into the SCP-1861 occurrence, entered the vessel and returned later as an instance of SCP-1861-B.
Right, we kind of figured that would
There seems to be a conversion state when humans enter the vessel, and so if you wish to maintain your sanity and consciousness, do not enter SCP-1861-A, no matter how convincing the instances of SCP-1861-B may
But
be.
we have treats.
It is also noted that if an instance is taken outside SCP-1861's area of effect, it will begin to experience accelerated fatigue and lose consciousness, becoming completely inert until reintroduced into SCP-1861, almost resembling a fish out of water.
Yeah.
After a manifestation
weird,
of 1861 has ended, the vessel will disappear along with any remaining instances of SCP-1861-B.
Just goes back to wherever it
Additionally,
came from.
blood, cerebrospinal fluid, and salt water left behind by 1861 will instantly convert to regular rainwater. If there were no eyewitnesses, it could almost be as if SCP-1861 had never occurred.
Right.
Only a storm had passed through, leaving
Such a
behind the rainwater.
wild SCP, man.
If a manifestation of SCP-1861 is reported, task force agents from the nearest Foundation outpost are to reroute traffic away from the affected area
So they don't
and
want it
prevent
to become
civilian interaction with
They don't want 'em to get
SCP-1861-B
more
instances.
Instances.
A separate team must be deployed with the specific task of locating and preventing access to the vessel.
Yeah.
SCP-1861-B instances cannot be destroyed with brute force due
Okay.
to the abnormal durability of their suits.
Right.
Therefore, preventing civilian abduction can only be achieved through diplomatic communication. Foundation misinformation agents positioned in local news sources and weather monitoring sites are to attribute SCP-1861 to irregularities in air pressure and large quantities of dust present in stormwater.
Interesting.
Civilians who enter
dirty
SCP-1861-A are to be declared legally dead, with causes of death
Wow.
attributed to common inclement weather accidents.
Yeah.
If necessary, any witnesses of SCP-1861-A or those who have encountered SCP-1861-B will have their memories wiped.
Yeah.
On the 8th of April 2018, a D-Class unit was sent out to conduct an interview with SCP-1861-B.
Okay.
The following is a recording taken from a tiny camera that Subject D-1861-36 was wearing on his chest.
Let's hear how they try
Additional
to manipulate
footage was taken from cameras that Foundation personnel had planted into the surrounding area.
Right.
This is an interview with an instance of SCP-1861-B,
Okay.
who claims to be a crew member of the HMS Wintersheimer.
Who are you? Samuel Ramsey of the HMS Wintersheimer. We're evacuating the area. Please, you've got to come with me. You're in danger out here.
Why? What's going on?
I don't have any way to prove this, but I can tell you right now that you're going to die very soon unless you come with me.
Wow.
And that's not a threat.
That's
It's a warning.
compelling.
Something really, really terrible is about to happen here.
What? What's going to happen?
Listen, you've got to trust me on this. When this rain stops, you're going to die.
They just want.
I'm not kidding.
They
You're
just
going to
want
die
to
unless
be-
you follow me back to our submarine.
They're doing whatever
You'll be
they
safe
can
there.
to recruit him.
Just tell me what's going to happen after the rain stops.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Look, I know this is going to sound insane, but this isn't regular rain. It's not from this world. There's another world,
It's
a
alien.
horrible world, and it's leaking into this one. Don't look at me like that. You can see for yourself that it isn't normal rain.
Right.
It's thick, it's red. Please, you just have to trust me. I'm begging here. I'm trying to save your life. I've seen what happens to people after the rain, and I'm trying to
Weird.
save you from that. Just come with me, and I swear we'll both survive this.
No.
What kind of world is it? How long has this been happening?
Listen, I want to help you. I swear I do. But if you won't believe me, I have no choice but to go look for someone else who will come with me. I'm truly, truly sorry, but I can't just stand here arguing with you when there are other people out there I
He's
could be
just trying to
save.
recruit no matter what.
After this occurrence,
law of numbers,
SCP-1861
babe.
did not return for a period of approximately 129 days.
Okay.
However, on the 14th of August, 2019,
What happened to the D-Class nut,
SCP-1861 returned over the Pacific Ocean. A
just
D-Class
making
unit
up
was sent out on a boat to
stories.
investigate the scene and potentially interview more instances of SCP-1861-B.
Okay.
However, the
They
boat
didn't
was
return.
capsized and all 4 members of the D-Class unit disappeared. They were presumed deceased.
Yeah.
What did you think of that SCP case? Comment your thoughts below.
I think it was incredibly interesting and well written. That's the deep ocean has a very, very vast amount of unexplored area, and it's truly cool when they do something that can't be you know what I mean? We know it's not real, but it can't really be proven because there's so much unexplored territory. It's kind of like space sci-fi, right? In that regard, I think it's really, really cool. Guys, SCP Exposed, make sure to subscribe to him and a couple other SCP Exposed videos that I reacted to. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.